when we were in Myanmar, we were retracing the Ramri massacre. Are you familiar with the Ramri massacre?
No.
You'll love this. So during World War II, when the Japanese were holding Ramri Island in Burma, Myanmar, the Allies came in and started making the Japanese retreat. In the course of like 2 days, 1,000 Japanese soldiers were eaten by crocodiles, by saltwater crocodiles.
What?
Yeah. So they were retreating
in 2 days?
In 2 days. I mean, some reports say it was over a couple weeks, but the general consensus is 1,000 soldiers were eaten by crocodiles in a very short amount of time. And it was this kind of perfect storm of situations where, because there were all these soldiers, they were eating all the prey. All the crocodiles were particularly hungry because of that. When the Allies pushed all the Japanese back into the swamps, they started screaming, and one scream would trigger all the others, like all the crocodiles, to get into a frenzy, and it just wiped out this entire populace of people that ran through the swamp. And so we went and retraced these steps to figure it out. We're like, why did this happen? To try and understand it better. And while we were there, this kid got attacked by a crocodile that was 100 years old. So probably the same animal that had eaten people during World War I, or one of them, right? And we saved this kid's life. Like, we got to the village and he had just been pulled out from this croc attack. His arm was broken in like 25 places. He was torn up. He had lacerations all over his leg, his ankle, his arm. And
how'd you get him out of the crocodile's mouth?
We didn't. So he fought off the crocodile, basically, and then the buddy he was with fishing pulled him into the boat and got him back to the village.
What a savage that kid is. He
Totally.
fought off a fucking crocodile?
And a big one.
How did he do it?
We don't know. We were so focused on saving the kid because myself and one other guy had medical training, so we were stopping the bleeding and bandaging him up, and we had the only speedboat because we had to get to this island, and this is very, very remote. So we got this kid on the speedboat and got him back to a hospital, and he lived. I think he lost the arm, but he was just going to bleed out and die right there in the village.
100-year-old crocodile. There probably was one of the crocodiles that ate the Japanese people
during the Ramri massacre. Yeah.
God damn. My friend Jim Shockey was in Africa, and they had hired him to hunt crocodiles that were terrorizing this one village. These people had fenced off this area where they could get water and clean and do and crocodiles had figured out a way to get through that and attack. And everyone in the village had like a bite mark here, a missing hand, a bite on their head. So many people had lost loved ones and friends, and while he was there, a woman who was washing clothes got killed by a crocodile while he was in the village. And these are Nile crocodiles, so these enormous, 20-foot long plus, huge killing machines.
And these are, I try and dispel anybody that says to me, oh, these animals were hunting people, and I'm like, no, they were not. Crocodiles are. Do you know what I mean? Crocodiles will hunt human beings. They will lock in outside of a small village or an area that someone's collecting water. They'll spend weeks watching, studying the pattern, learning the behavior, and just wait for the perfect time where they can sink under, sit right there waiting for someone to gather water. In my opinion, they're not distinguishing that from another prey animal. They just know this thing's coming to water here at this pattern, and they will absolutely target people.
100%. They don't care if you're a person.
Exactly.
That's a weird thing about people. We feel like we have some sort of a deal.
Right.
Well, they're not really after you.
Right.
Sharks aren't after people.
Right.
Like, what are you talking
They're
to
trying
sharks?
to eat. Yeah.
Do you have a treaty with sharks? What are you talking about, man? People have this weird thing about animals, and when animals find out how easy we are to eat.
Yeah.
Then it becomes a real problem.
Yeah, I mean, Lions of Savo, right? Those famous lions, they were targeting people. The Ghost in the Darkness.
That's a great movie.
Fantastic movie. Yeah. And
so
they were targeting
scary.
people. They knew that people were easy prey, and they're like, cool, we're going to keep eating them.
Once they get a few meals, and they're like, not bad, and fucking real easy to catch.
Yeah, that's right, This is the opposite of fast food.
We're like mussels growing on the beach. Just pluck them.
Totally.
Yeah.